Hey, we'll answer that question in just a second.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Goofy Guy podcast. I am Jim Spangler, the Goofy Guy, and this is episode number 116. 116 in, and it's the Disney news for May 16th, 2021. We are halfway through May. I don't know what's happening to time. I don't know where it's going, but it is certainly flying by me. I think that has to do with being old. I think it does. And I have a wonderful, pleasant, fantastic job of introducing my guest co-host. You all know her. If you've been following the podcast, you've heard her. You've just never seen her. But it is my dear friend, Mandy Corral.
Hi.
Hey, I'm so glad you're here.
Me too. I'm so excited.
Yeah. You were asking about sending out the link. There's nobody watching, so we can talk about this.
Oh, great. Okay.
And it'll be on the podcast, but that's okay. I think if you look, you know what? I'm not 100% sure. It's on Facebook, and it's.
I mean, could you just like literally copy it from the like bar up at the top?
If they go to Facebook and they look up the Goofy Guy, it'll come up.
Okay.
That's about the best I can do. I'm sorry. I don't know enough about it because they can't come in the broadcast studio, right?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the problem. But it's on YouTube and on Facebook. So anybody that wants to see it, if they just Google the Goofy Guy and even just go to YouTube, it'll be right there. So cool. Anyway, now that we've gotten that technical out of the side, so that Zach and Steve and Sean and anybody else that wants to join in can join in. How are you doing, Mandy?
I'm great. Just enjoying the fact that I can open my windows and
I know.
It's so nice.
So nice. Today was like the perfect day. I was like, let's just have all of our days be exactly like this.
Oh, I was
Southern
so happy.
California, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, and it's like not too hot. That's not, it's like I went out to go grocery shopping this morning and I was wearing like my normal like hoodie and yoga pants. I was like, I am actually too warm. I have to change into a t-shirt.
Yeah.
This is my dream. This is all I've wanted for the past.
Exactly. Through the Chicago winter. And second winter, which is spring. So, there you go. So you told me some excited news before we went on air that people are going to want to know. You're getting ready to go down to Walt Disney World.
I am so excited. I actually just got, hold on, it's right behind me, I think. I did decide to order Magic Band.
And you got it.
Yep, and I just got it today. Yay. I got a little box. I've got Ron's and Steve's and Zach's over there too. So we all like ordered our own little
nice
design and
So that's so exciting.
Well, I know they're phasing them out, right? So I know that they're starting to go for like a like the Magic Mobile, so you can put it on your phone and stuff, which is fine. But one, I just love having a Magic Band, and two, I just like it because
there's something special about it, right? It's like it represents to us. It represents I'm going to Disney.
Right.
Exactly. Or I'm at Disney. So I get that. I still use mine.
And I like the package came in the mail and Steve was like, "What is this? What's this box?" And I saw that it was from Florida and I was like, I know what it is. I can't wait.
That's so fantastic. So where are you? Do you know where you're staying? Where are you staying?
Yes, we're staying at the Caribbean Beach.
Oh, nice. Nice. They just remodeled all of that.
I know. I was going to say I haven't been since the remodel. I did go. So Zach and I went for our college graduation trip. So it was like our graduation like gift to ourselves was like, we're going to go to Disney for a week and like celebrate. And so we stayed at the Caribbean Beach, but that was back before the remodel was done. And so when we were looking at resorts, Zach was like, well, we should do the Caribbean Beach again, just like nostalgia.
Absolutely.
And but also because it's been completely redone and I've heard some good things about it. So
and you've got the Skyliner right there.
I was going to say, and the Skyliner is right there, and we're all huge like Star Wars nerds, so we're going to be spending a lot of time at Galaxy's Edge. So we're like, this is the perfect location.
Yep, absolutely.
So I can't wait.
So I wish I could give you tips and tricks on Rise of the Resistance, how to get a boarding pass for the Rise of the Resistance. The only thing I will tell you is do not be on Disney Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
don't be on Disney Wi-Fi. And you have to literally count down
the seconds. Yep.
The seconds and be refreshing as you, I mean, it's insane. It's insane.
You probably wouldn't make fun of me. Actually, you would understand. I have a whole spreadsheet of like,
of course you do.
Of like every day, all of our itineraries per day. I have like a countdown to when like we can do our ADRs. I have like all of this like stuff. And so I literally, in the Hollywood Studios day, I have like a step by step, like this is what we're doing this morning. You are not allowed to sleep in this morning because
you all have to be on the phone.
Going to be on our phone, refreshing to get a boarding pass.
That's right. That's exactly right. It's the only way to do it. It's the only way to do it.
I know. Well, Ron has a friend, Ashley, who works. She's a guest coordinator at Disney. So she's got, apparently she's got, I don't know what her deal is that she can like, but apparently she can get some like special perks to get in lines and stuff. But I don't think that extends to boarding groups for Rise.
It doesn't. I can assure you they have that blocked for everything.
Yes.
They can't give those away at all. Yeah. So I have a good feeling. I have a good feeling you're going to get it. You know, and you're like I am. I mean, planning is half the fun. Getting the spreadsheet out and getting the hours and where am I going when and what's the crowd levels and what's the all of it.
You better believe that I was on Undercover Tourist and I was looking at the crowd monitors and I was like, all right, which days are we going to Magic Kingdom? Which day are we going to Animal Kingdom? I can't go to Epcot that day because it's going to be too busy. Like,
that's right. That's exactly right.
I have like meetings scheduled with like Zach and Steve and Ron, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna meet this day because this day I have to make all of our dining reservations. So I need us all to be in agreement which restaurants we're going to, which day, so that I can get on the date that we can make them and get those reservations. I'm like a little embarrassed. But
oh, please, it's a Disney podcast. We're complete geeks. I know. Don't worry about it.
For each day, I told everybody I have 3 columns. I have, go in and write your name and put, this is the must-do column. Yes. This is the would be nice column. And this is the avoid column. And we all need to have these on there so that we all know, like, okay, this is this person's must-do. We're all going to like make sure that we make it a priority.
That's right.
Like, we don't get to the park and like it's the end of the day, and Steve's like, "Well, I really wanted to ride the People Mover, but we didn't make any time to do it."
It's the truth. That's what you have to do.
Yeah, and Steve was like making fun of me. They were all like, "This, I want to be on vacation." I'm like, "Okay, no, I'm doing this now so that we can relax on vacation."
Right. That's exactly
right. Enjoy our time. This is why we're doing this now.
And you're like I am. The planning is half the fun.
I enjoy it. Right.
Oh, I love it. No, I love it. Yeah, I'll do it for you. I love it. I think it's great fun. And I get the spreadsheets out and I change the spreadsheets constantly. And I'm constantly, I mean, I absolutely love it. I totally get that, get why you're doing it and why you're doing it that way. Because that's the way that I do it. So you go to Undercover Tourist. Have you ever been to localtourist.com?
I have. I've been there, and not as much as Undercover Tourist.
Yeah, we'll talk afterwards about that. When we're done here, we'll talk. But I love Local Tourist. Of course, I've been using them for. I mean, when their first book, the unofficial guide came out, I was like hooked on it. Yeah. So anyway, it's great. I'm just excited you're going. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to be able to do a fall trip or not. I'm still kind of in that. I don't know if I can do it or not. I was looking at because Julie's going to be there at the end of November, right before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
It just doesn't work for me.
Right.
So.
Right.
I got to figure out when I want to go, and I want to go during the holidays because I always go during Halloween. And so I
See,
want
I've
to
never
push
been
it.
during Halloween. I've never been.
Oh,
That's one of my
oh,
bucket lists. I want to go during Halloween so badly. It's
I love
definitely
it. I love it. You need to go though when they bring back the not so scary
Mickey,
Halloween
not so
party.
scary.
Yeah, or at least I mean it may stay Boo Bash now forever, but at least when they bring back the parade and the fireworks,
Something, some form of that celebration. And well, and I've, you know how obsessed I am with Hocus Pocus. Like
and that stage show is so good.
Oh, I've watched it on YouTube so many times.
Oh,
I'm like,
that doesn't even do it justice.
I know it doesn't even count.
Those women are amazing. Amazing.
Well, again, a bucket list role. You know, someday I'm like, when I'm a little older, I will want to play Winifred.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I can totally see you playing Winifred. You'd be fantastic.
Some platform heels, like I'm good. I got
it. Yeah. Oh, that would be so fantastic. I would totally come down to see that. I would totally come down to see that. So cool. Hey, I have an idea though, because this is a podcast about Disney news. So why don't we talk about some news?
Maybe, yeah.
We'll do some news. All right. First thing, the Festival of the Lion King opened yesterday. Yay!
I'm so excited.
And so I read a review and they said it's like the taste of the Festival of the Lion King because there are things that they've cut out.
Right. Like, they had to cut out spacing stuff for social distancing.
That's right. So the monkeys aren't there and the flyers aren't there.
Right.
So the birds are gone. So I think they'll eventually bring them back because they're so integral to the funness of that show. But for right now, at least it's open. I am just thrilled that it's open and those actors have jobs again.
I was thinking that too. I was like, if I was an actor in that show, I wouldn't be able to keep it together while I was on stage. I would be.
Oh, I'm sure there were tears. Can you imagine?
Oh, I was already emotional just watching the little clips I saw on YouTube. I was like, oh, it's back.
I know. I totally agree. So I'm really excited that it's back. So good news. Also, there are a lot of places that are now reopening in Hollywood studios. So, like the Frozen Fractal Gifts is now reopened. Fairfax Fair is now reopened. That's where you can get food down Sunset Boulevard. And then right there on the corner, the Sunset Ranch Pins and Souvenirs has also reopened. This is all good because it just means that we're getting back to some normalcy.
Semblance of normalcy. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
interested to see what their thought process is behind what they're opening when too. Like what are their priorities? What things are they going to be like? Because I know there's resorts and stuff that aren't open. That's right.
That's right.
So what's the process that they're going to use to start, especially now that they've listed that? Or we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about that.
But yeah. Sorry,
spoiler. You're getting ahead.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. So yeah, it will be interesting. And I know that they have notices out to all of their former employees to bring them back because they know that this is going to start to wind up pretty quickly. And word is that 80% of the people that they're asking to come back are coming back. So that speaks volumes for the company. It also speaks volumes for how quickly they're going to be able to get things back up and going.
For sure.
Yeah. So I guess there's a complaint though about the Fairfax Fair. I read that they're only serving hot dogs. Different kinds of hot dogs. And they even have a hot dog salad.
I saw that. Wait, it's like a Chicago hot dog? Yes.
Hot dog salad.
It's like a deconstructed Chicago hot dog.
That's exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. All you Chicago fans out there, go. Right?
Oh my gosh.
It's so true. I know. It just made me laugh. I was like, that's a riot. That's a riot.
And it's just like, and isn't it vegan too? Like they're not even using real.
Are they not using real hot dogs?
I thought it wasn't even a real hot dog. Like it's a vegan option. So it's got like a vegan bratwurst.
They have. So if it's the same thing that they do at Casey's Corner, it's really good because I've had it.
Oh yeah, yes.
I know.
It's gonna make a deconstructed hot dog salad. Like, why are you?
I know.
What end? Why does it exist?
Vegan. It's our vegan option because they're trying to have a vegan option everywhere.
Sure.
You're not buying it.
Yeah. I do appreciate vegan options. I think that there's other, I don't know, you could have chosen something else. You didn't have to make a hot dog salad.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, hot dog salad, not so much.
I'm not vegan, but like I imagine that as a vegan, I'm not going to look on a menu and go, hot dog salad.
That's for me.
That's right up my alley, it's right true. In my wheelhouse.
Yeah, no, we don't. And as an aspiring vegan, I can't give up my pizza with real cheese and stuff. But I might actually look at it. But there are better options out there. So that's not going to be where I go.
Right. No.
As a matter of fact, in Galaxy's Edge, there are great options in Galaxy's Edge. So
I like Galaxy's Edge. Is it like Satu'li Canteen? Like, isn't the whole? They have a bunch of like vegan.
They have so it's not. It's actually Docking Bay that has the better options, in my opinion. They've got a really good falafel. Combination that actually is really tasty. And I'm very picky about falafel because it can be so dry, but theirs was really good. So I was really pleased with that option. Yeah. Nice. And you can do Satu'li Canteen and get it without the bratwurst or whatever that sausage is.
Right.
But then I'm not sure what you're left with. So
yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of the ham and sausage is the point.
I haven't been in 5 years, so all I know is I haven't tasted anything. I just know from all of the news shows that I watch and all. So so I'm just isn't that thing? I don't know, tried any of it, but
yeah. Oh, I totally get it. My friend Jackie Murray is watching. Hi, Jackie. Thanks for joining us. Oh my God, I haven't talked to you in forever. I hope you're doing well. So. The college program, we talked about last week that the college program is coming back in June, which is so exciting. I'm really excited for those kids. And, I wish I had done it when I was their age. But the college program is coming back and they are introducing gender neutral housing.
So great.
For them, a gender neutral housing option, which I think is fantastic.
That's so great. Well, and it's also, I mean, it kind of surprises me that it didn't exist before, or at least, I guess I don't know.
Well, if you think about it, first of all, where they were housing them before, it's just a big apartment complex.
Right.
And so I think they didn't really, because it was already in place before that became a thing to do, they couldn't really adjust that. And now that they've built a whole new complex,
they're able to
at the new Flamingo Corner or whatever it's called, on the west side, that I think they figured out how they could do it. I think it's fantastic.
I mean, good for. I mean, I imagine that was probably a barrier for a lot of students that wanted to do the college program.
A lot.
So that opens a lot of doors.
It absolutely does.
I mean, literally. But also, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. And it also just furthers their commitment, right, to equality and the LGBTQ community. And I just think I think it speaks volumes for a large corporation to take those steps. Right.
Well, because it's not going to do anything but benefit them in the long run too.
That's right.
What are you going to gain by?
That's right.
by not offering those options.
That's exactly right. No,
I an entire group of people.
Well, and it also goes hand in hand with their new policy about costumes, right, and what you can wear now, because now you can your tattoos can be seen now.
Oh, I know.
That whole thing is.
I saw the cutest TikTok of this little trans boy meeting a cast member that had their nails painted, and it was like,
Nice.
and they had their nails painted in like rainbow, and this little boy was dressed in a Snow White costume.
Oh.
They referred to him as a boy, so I'm not misgendering him, just for the record.
Yeah.
But it was, you could see that his eyes just like, he was so obsessed with this cast member because he was like, oh my gosh, like they look like me. Like, I can't believe
representation is everything.
Yeah.
If you see somebody like you, it's huge. It's huge.
It's so, I mean, if I, you know, you can't even imagine what it's like to be able to see. Yeah. So
yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you. So really excited about that. Let's talk a little bit about Disneyland. They've added the virtual queue to Indiana Jones at Disneyland. So for those of you that are listening, it's the same kind of idea that they're doing for Rise of the Resistance. I'll be honest with you. I think this is going to go through a lot more. I think a lot more rides are going to get this virtual queue.
Definitely.
You know, the more popular attractions that always have really long waits. I can see Space Mountain. I can see Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I can see Everest. You know, I can see a lot of things having this applied to it. You know, and it's just a new version of Fast Pass, right? Kind of. You know, because it was limited number of Fast Passes too. So, but it'll be interesting to see how they do it, because we all know Rise of the Resistance is just impossible to get. So, it's a crapshoot.
Right.
Exactly. So, yeah.
But again, I mean, and it's one of those things. They were doing virtual queue before COVID. That was right, or was that
Rise of the Resistance was always going to be virtual queue?
Right.
Yeah,
it was
that
no
was
matter
always
what,
the plan.
it was going to be virtual.
That's right.
Okay.
That is exactly right.
I was going to say, I mean, it's a great way to like enforce social distancing, but I mean,
well, and that leads us to the next topic, right? So Disney has removed the 6 foot requirement for social distancing, according to what the CDC has been saying. So I've got to be honest with you, I'm not very happy about that. And it's not because I'm all vaccinated, and has nothing to do with that. I really loved the 6 foot spacing in the queue.
Right. I mean,
I love the extra room,
especially when it's like 95 degrees and you're like sitting there squatting when you're waiting in line for the Jungle Cruise,
and we're all smelling good.
like you're in 95 degrees waiting in line for the Jungle Cruise.
That's exactly right. And in 100% humidity. Yeah.
It's a very distinct smell.
It is a very distinct smell. So I'm a little disappointed that I didn't realize how much I didn't like that until I experienced the social distancing queue. And then I was like, oh, I love this.
I'm very interested to see if it's still in place when I go. I'm very curious to see how quickly these guidelines are reduced, because I know that it's once they decide that things are going to go back, they're going to go back quick.
That's exactly right.
I was kind of hoping that they wouldn't, change the capacity. So they would stay, at 36% capacity.
Well, we really should have gone about a year ago, right? I mean, when they just first opened and nobody was there. So that would have been the time. So just know, if you're going, that the signs have all been changed. They just show social distancing. They don't give you a spacing rule. I believe that the markers on the queues are being removed as we speak. So, we'll just have to see how it goes. Cross your fingers.
Yeah.
Cross your fingers. So Epcot Forever Fireworks may be returning. I don't really care.
I know.
I was such an Illuminations fan.
I was going to say, it's not Illumination.
It's not. And it's got some cool stuff. It does have some cool stuff. Those kites are awesome. Yeah. I love those kites. But, but now they're going to have to do it with those big barges.
The giant robots in the middle of
Yes, that's exactly right. That's exactly the big 6-story circle.
I am looking forward to when they are used as fountains. I am very curious.
So I've seen them testing that.
Yeah. Oh, have you?
Oh yeah. Let's
I
just say there are going to be areas that they're going to have signs up that say you may get wet walking through the
yeah.
area.
I mean, absolutely. It's like multiple
Huge.
stories tall.
Huge.
They're
Huge.
absolutely gargantuan. And again, like all of the, concept art and everything, it's very, you're like,
Of course it
that
is. It's
looks
beautiful.
beautiful in theory. These things are massive.
And now
Like,
they are committed. It is
Oh, yeah.
100% committed. This is happening.
there's no turning back. Oh no, you can't.
There's
You
no
can't.
turning back.
No, you can't. You can't put that monstrosity in the middle of the lagoon and decide at the last minute that you're like, nah,
Nah,
better not.
No, I don't think so. Nah, let's
Like
not do
Disco
that.
Yeti all over again.
Oh my God. Yeah, it is just ridiculous. So when I was there for my friend's wedding, my friend Heather's wedding, and we were walking, it was before the park opened, and we were walking, and I asked the woman that was in charge of her wedding, I said, so what does the cast think about what's going on?
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't want to be the manager that has to manage the first wedding in Japan and explain to the bride why that has to be in her pictures.
I didn't even.
No, why would you think of that? Oh, no. I didn't think about it either.
I mean,
can you imagine spending that much money and that ugly thing is in your pictures?
I'm just, all I can think is they must have some confidence in how much water coverage that there's going to be. Like, they must be so confident that that water feature is going to be absolutely breathtaking that they're like, it'll be fine. Like,
and the other thing I think that they have to be so confident that this show is so spectacular that nobody's going to care.
Right.
I think that's the real thing. That the show, because I think if that show is incredible, then I think everybody will forgive them.
Oh, it'll be worth it. If everybody's like, okay, this tops Illuminations by like 1,000, then yes, everyone will be fine and everyone will deal with the big structure.
That's exactly right. But it's all dependent on that.
At least with Illuminations, that like they could remove it. They could like sail it out and pull it back in.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, don't you think they would figure out how to make it so that it would collapse?
You would think. Well, my thought too, that's like, everything is collapsible in Disney. Everything that's like huge. It's like it's hurricanes. Like
everything.
The wheel just goes like spinning.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. Oh,
the thing is huge.
Yeah, it is. So anyway, we'll see what happens about that. I loved this next piece of news because I just, not because of why they're doing it, it just made me laugh. Disney has removed over 200 alligators from the Disney waterways since that toddler was attacked and killed by an alligator. I get it. But the thing that I find funny is that has come out when Disney at the beginning said, we're not going to do that.
Right.
We can't keep them out. We can't. And then they've gone ahead and done it.
Well, I mean, it's like, there's only so much that you can say that, you can say like, stay out of the lakes, but it's like,
that's right.
They have to take some responsibility for it too. They have to,
that is
like,
true.
they can, if they can do something about it, in the sense that like they can do something about it without, harming the animals. That I'm sure that they would want to do that. I'm sure
it's just like Peter says on the Diz, right? Stay out of the damn lakes.
Stay out of the damn lakes.
Stay out of the damn lakes.
Like,
for real.
Actually.
No matter where you're at, not just at Disney. If you're in Florida, stay out of the damn lakes. I always love it when he says that. It just makes me laugh every time.
How he signs off like every video.
I know. Everything he does. Everything he does. Yep. So Disney is already increasing park capacity. And the rumor is, and the internet has gone nuts about this rumor, that they've increased capacity to 70%. I'm not buying it. I don't know if
that's true. Yeah,
I'm not buying it. I think it's more likely they've increased it to 50%. that they've said the cutoff would be 50%. And we have to say this is 50% of the total capacity that the park could hold, right? This is not 50% of what they usually get. This is,
which is
yeah, but they hardly ever fill that park or any of the parks. Hardly ever.
God, no.
Only on like Christmas.
Right.
And
even like, with the capacity level they have now, the parks are still fairly crowded.
They're busy.
They're still pretty busy, and that's nowhere near 70% capacity.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't think that it is because they don't have enough hotel space to do that.
No. I mean, Poly's still closed, right? Like all these.
Yeah, it's getting ready to open. It's going to reopen.
Right.
But it's still, there's just not enough. They just don't have enough space right now open. Right. They have a little bit more to go. Because if you think about it, Caribbean Beach is the only middle,
it's the only moderate. Yeah.
The only moderate that's open right now.
Yeah.
So I think 70 is a little extreme. So
yeah.
And a little reckless.
Yeah. I mean, people are already so we even said up in arms about the 6 foot distancing. People are not happy about it. People are
yeah.
So I imagine that if they were to push it up that much that quickly, I feel like they would get some backlash.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't think that that's the case.
So Disney has finally announced that instead of a new annual pass holder at Disneyland, they're now going to implement a loyalty program. Now, the interesting thing is Mice Chat, Dusty Sage at Mice Chat talked about this months ago and said that this is probably what they were going to go to. And I trust Dusty. I trust him. I know Dusty, and he is not somebody that's going to say something like that if he doesn't have good
a reason to believe it. Yeah,
that's exactly right. So I think, I think we all have to just, it doesn't affect me, obviously, because I'm not a Disneyland person.
Right.
But, they had a problem with their annual pass program. There were too many of them.
There were so many.
Yeah, there were too many of them. And so I think this will help alleviate that. And we'll see what happens. So that's all I have to say.
I mean, I'm like that.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to say about that. So the last piece of news, I'm actually going to share a picture. The last piece of news is that Disney is no longer requiring you to wear a mask outside. So I know. So that's a picture of yesterday. This started yesterday. They announced it Friday night and they implemented it yesterday. And this is a picture of people coming down Main Street without masks on. Now, if you go into a store, if you go into a restaurant, or even an attraction, you have to put a mask on. So they're still requiring that.
That includes queue lines. So even if the queue lines are outside, you have to wear your mask.
That's right. If you're going to get into a queue, you have to have your mask on before you get in the queue. So I get that. This makes me nervous. I'm not going to lie.
Oh yeah.
This makes me nervous. And just because there are so many people that are refusing to wear masks already, how do you know who's been vaccinated and who hasn't? I mean,
how many people are going to show up and lie and say oh, I'm fully vaccinated. I mean, not like they have to, because that's not the rule, right? It's just
that's not the rule.
No, it's not like you have to be vaccinated. It's just
that's just the way that it is. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm a little bothered by it. The other thing that they have done, and I'll share this picture too. The other thing that they have done is they have removed the spacing in the seating of theaters. So this is the Frozen.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So this is the Frozen sing-along. And they no longer have, the way that it worked before is that they had signs on seats that you couldn't sit in. So you had
Right.
like a group of 4, and then there were like 3 seats that you couldn't sit in, and then a group of 4, and then 3 seats, and it was every other row. They've taken that all out now.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
Yeah.
they got rid of the distancing in theaters. It's like you walk
Yep.
in at Phil Her Magic, where they got all that wind blowing around and all that like stuff, and you're right next to people. Ooh,
Yeah. Make sure you're
interesting.
vaccinated before you go, children.
Oh yeah.
Get vaccinated.
I mean, that's the reason that we're all going, is because all of us are fully vaccinated, and
That's
we
right.
all are,
That's
we're
right.
like, otherwise we wouldn't be traveling. We wouldn't be going at all.
No,
So
absolutely no.
Ooh.
So they showed it. I also saw a picture of Festival of the Lion King, where now all the benches are there's no space between the benches anymore. I am not really sure how I feel about this right now. And part of it is PTSD, right? Part of it is that it's just scary.
And I think that's a lot of the reason, like, because I live in the city. I live in Chicago, so no one really is going without a mask.
Yeah.
Like, even though that people don't have to wear a mask outside, I mean, you look outside and almost everyone is wearing a mask, no matter what. So,
well, I have a friend in California. As a matter of fact, it's the family, the guy that did the Goofy Guy face, the drawing, the wonderful caricature that he did.
Yeah.
They have said come flu season, they're wearing masks again because it was so effective.
I was just having this conversation. I'm a preschool teacher, so we are required to wear masks inside, obviously, at all times. The children are all required to wear masks too, and I have a class of 3-year-olds, and they all are very good about wearing their masks. And I will tell you that before COVID, I was a preschool teacher a couple of years ago as well, and I got sick constantly. I always had a cold. I always had a cough. I got like bronchitis and strep. I was always getting sick because
germ factory.
Kids are gross. Kids are gross. I love them. The kids are gross.
It's true.
It's just true. And so I have not been sick like at all since I've been wearing a mask. And so I don't know that I will ever stop wearing a mask.
The flu season that we usually get, because we were all wearing masks, was down 98% this year.
Insane. That's insane.
98%.
Yeah.
So I'm in. Mm-hmm. I don't mind, because I don't mind wearing a mask. I don't like it.
It doesn't bother me at all.
No, it's just what we do now.
I also wear it 40 hours a week. So I'm so desensitized to it. Like, I don't even notice I'm wearing it. And it's, people in, the healthcare field have been wearing them for 12 hours a day for always.
For always. For always. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So yeah, so we're I think while I know I would be comfortable going because I've been vaccinated, there are going to be people that are not vaccinated. They're going to go, and they're going to catch it. They just are. That's just, and Disney has been so good about keeping everything like clean and everybody wearing masks and all of that. And now that's going away, and that just makes me nervous.
Yeah.
I suppose they can always go back to it.
Yeah. It's going to take a long time for, I think, the general public, or at least the public that like took the pandemic seriously, to feel comfortable.
I think you're right.
Transitioning back. And I think that's just natural. I think we're all at this point like used to the way it feels to like have the mask on when we're outside. We're used to, not only that, I'm used to not having to put makeup on this half of my face. I'm used to not.
Your skin is probably really happy.
It's great. I haven't worn makeup at all for like a year, really, unless I'm going someplace. Which has been great. That's like a small thing in comparison to the like, I don't want to breathe in other people's germs.
That's right.
And I went on the L. I went on the L one time. I've been on the L exactly one time since COVID, and I don't know that I could do it without a mask on again.
Oh, I couldn't. Nope.
No.
I take the L into work now, and I only go in twice a week. But there's no way. And thank goodness I go in really early, so there's nobody on the train anyway.
Yeah.
But going home, it makes me a little nervous. And I'm vaccinated, and I'm a little nervous.
I mean,
right?
Again, PTSD. I think that has a lot
Yeah,
to
it
do
is
with
totally PTSD. Yeah. So that's it. That's the news for the week. Unless you have something else that you'd like to add.
Not particularly. No,
Okay.
you pretty much covered all the stuff that I've been looking at and that I've been seeing.
Well, it's like I always say, we could talk about products that have been released, or I know one that's we should say. They're destroying some Trader Joe's, not Trader Joe's, Trader Sam's apparel. Because
they're getting rid of it?
They're destroying it.
Well, I know that they're eliminating it. They eliminated them from the ride, but
they are destroying. Yes. So the Trader Sam's Grotto, you could get T-shirts and mugs and stuff. And they came out with T-shirts. And they have decided that they're destroying them all because they feel like it does a disservice to the Polynesian community. And
I mean, I agree. It's about time.
Totally.
Trader Sam's.
Totally. I love Trader Sam's, but it is some of the imagery is offensive. It is offensive.
Yeah.
And 50 years ago, nobody thought it was offensive, but now we do.
Well, we know better now. So
that's exactly right. We know better. So you adjust and you make changes. Mm-hmm. So instead of just like selling them at a reduced rate, they are literally destroying them.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that have been destroyed because they're culturally insensitive, you know what movie I watched for the first time this week?
Song of the South.
Song of the South. I have never seen that film because it is really, really hard to find for good reason. Yeah. I watched. Do you ever watch Defunctland? The show Defunctland on YouTube.
Yes.
It's one of my favorites. He goes into the stories, the backstories about how rides like that are that have been defunct, their history and where they went and things like that. And so I watched one on the history of Splash Mountain because it's getting its makeover into The Princess and the Frog very soon. And so I learned a lot about the history of the movie itself. And so I was like, you know what? I've never seen it. I'm going to Disney. I'm riding Splash Mountain probably for the last time. And I've ridden this ride a million times, but I have no idea what this movie is about. I went online and I found some random copy that someone posted online.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm curious. And so I didn't pay money for it because I wasn't going to pay money for it, but it was just free. And I watched it and it was horrible.
It's scary. It is quite offensive.
But I was here thinking, okay, it's got some racist imagery. It's got some but it's still going to be, animated birds and butterflies and stuff. And I've seen Zippity Doo-Dah before. I had the sing-along songs when I was little.
Of course.
I've seen that. That's going to be the whole movie.
No, it is not.
No, that's not what that movie is.
No, that is not what that movie's about. It's pretty offensive. So I bought a copy of it on Blu-ray, and when it arrived, Kate said, "Why did you buy that? Why is that in this house?"
Yeah.
And I said, because to me, we may never watch it, but to me, as a historical piece of Disney, it's important that I have it. It's not that I agree with it. It's not that I want to see it. It's not any of that, but it is a piece of Disney history, and it's important as a Disney historian and a lover of Disney to have representation of that. So it has never been opened. It's still in shrink wrap.
I love that though. Well, I do think that it is important to keep those movies just to acknowledge, how far we've come and just to acknowledge, the
That's
things,
exactly right.
And I'm not saying that I'm going to sit my kids down and be like, children, this is the classic film, The Song of the South.
Yep.
And let's glorify it. No, if my children ever do see it, it will be point out everything wrong in this movie and why.
That's right. You'll have a discussion about it. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
And so I don't think it should be erased off the face of the earth, but I do think that I don't understand why people are so up in arms about.
Well, it shouldn't be erased off the face of the earth, just like Gone with the Wind should not be erased off the face of the earth.
Earth of a Nation, all of these, Jazz Singer.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So anyway, that's Very interesting. Very
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, and now I know because when I go to the park, I'll be able to like actually have some context
Yeah,
into the ride because
absolutely.
I never understood it, and now that people are people are mad about
Oh,
that ride changing. I mean, people are big
yeah,
mad.
yeah, yeah. It's time.
So
And I'll be honest with you, it's my favorite. It's one of my favorite rides. It's not my
I
favorite
love it.
ride, but it's one of my favorite rides.
I
It's
love
one
it.
of my must-dos,
Mhm,
and
same.
I will miss it, but it's tired.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
tired. It's time. Not even because of what it represents, because they did a good job of whitewashing that, right? They did a
right.
good
It's all
job.
animals. It's
Yeah, it's
animals,
all the
guys.
animated sequences. Yeah.
Uncle Remus is a frog. It's
That's
not real.
exactly right. That's exactly right. And so, but it's tired. It's
I mean, the
tired.
animatronics. Every time I go, there's one like at least one more animatronic missing from the boat scene at the end.
Almost always. Almost always.
Like
And if you see the
time.
$1 million rabbit, it's a miracle.
Oh, it's
They
ridiculous.
spent so much money on that animatronic. And they can't fix the Yeti.
We could have a whole other podcast talking about that Yeti.
Totally. Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to what they do because it's gonna. I mean, can you imagine what they're gonna do with that ride now? That they are like have like the space to get to do it justice. Like it's gonna be.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. I know. It's gonna be spectacular. I agree. I totally agree. So hey, that's it for the news. Thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. If you do me a favor and go out, if you're listening to the podcast, give us a 5-star rating and a review on Apple Podcasts. That would be awesome. It helps other people find the podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, smash that like button. Click that subscribe button and the notification icon so that you never miss when a video goes up on The Goofy Guy. If you're on Facebook, like it, love it, whatever you do, however you feel about it. If we make you mad, respond. It's okay. And share it, please, with all your friends. That's the best way to get the word out about what we're doing here at The Goofy Guy. Also, if you have any comments about what we've talked about, any of the news items that we've talked about, because we've talked about some controversial ones tonight, then please let us know. Just share it in a comment on YouTube or on Facebook. If you want to, you can go out to thegoofyguy.com, find the podcasts out there, leave a comment with that. Just click that podcast link up at the top. While you're there, sign up for the Goofy Guy newsletter. Really appreciate it. I don't spam you. I'm lucky to get one out a month, honestly. That's about as good as I can do. So go out there, sign up for that newsletter so you can keep up to date with what's going on here in case you miss some things. And be sure, the other places that you can find me on Twitter, Pinterest, or Instagram. It's The Goofy Guy Blog. On Facebook, it's The Goofy Guy. On YouTube, it's The Goofy Guy. On TikTok, it's TikTok. On TikTok, I think it's actually The Goofy Guy on TikTok. I'm not sure. It might be The Goofy Guy Blog. I think I have like 3 TikToks out there. I mean, it's not, I'm not using it a lot, to be honest with you. But
it will
please,
forever be TikTok.
It will forever be TikTok now. Yeah. So please, reach out. Let me know you're listening. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. So Mandy, if people wanted to reach out to you, where can they find you? If you want to share that. If you don't want to share that, I understand.
If you want to, I'm not, I honestly am not big on social media, but if you want to look up my Instagram, it's Mandeye, Mandeye. And yeah, that's about it. I have a TikTok, but I don't post anything.
Yeah, unlike your brother.
Yeah, unlike my brother.
Yeah,
if you want to look at my brother, he actually is into TikTok. So
yes, he is.
Alex
Corral,
CORRAO.
Yeah. I really intend to have him on here one day because I love what he's doing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And the time that he's taking to do it is spectacular.
Honestly, it's a lot of time.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
It's real hard. Yeah.
It's obvious. It's obvious. Yeah. Go out there and check it out. So, hey, thanks again so much for joining us. Be sure to check on your friends, your neighbors, your loved ones. COVID is still out there, even though we've heard that if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear your mask. It's still out there. So please take care of yourself, take care of your neighbors, your loved ones, and wear your mask, wear your mask, wear your mask. And remember, I wear my mask for you, not for me. We just need to take care of each other, really. That's what it's about. So with that, it's time to say goodbye, and it's time to say goodbye, Mandy.
Goodbye, Mandy.
We'll talk to y'all later. I'm so glad you know that joke. It makes